Greetings, fellow guardians and citizens of the Last City. Traveler's light be with you. I'm sure you all remember the infamous weapon of sorrow, Thorn. The pride or scourge of Year 1, depending on your point of view. Thorn, the tainted rose of Dredgen, an infamous guardian who fell to darkness and became one of humanity's most hated villains. It is said to rend one's enemies is to see them not as equals, but objects, hollow of spirit and meaning. In Year 1, Thorn was available only through a Vanguard Mentor missive called A Light in the Dark. There wasn't a Year 2 version of Thorn. Presumably Bungie felt that the steel of Dredgen had yielded far too great a mountain of salt to allow it to return. And so along with the other Year 1 greats, Icebreaker and Yellowhorn, it became a weapon for lightless Crucible matches, or maybe the odd patrol or old school raid. With the rise of Iron comes the rise of Thorn. My old friend is back, and with an infusion nodule that allows you to take it to max life, finally. There's no Vanguard Mentor missive this time, but instead a special quest that pops randomly when turning in bounties. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but the Shiro 4 bounties seem to be the ones most folks are saying triggered the quest. I know I got it when I turned in 5 at once. The good news is that the quest, while being about the same length as in Year 1, is actually a little easier. First you have to complete the Wretched Eye Strike on any difficulty, so you can blast through it on normal level.
What a mess. The High Priest wasn't looking to...
Secondly, you have to kill Fallen in the Plaguelands. If you got your weekly patrol quest, you can do that, or go to Archon Forge and you'll get it knocked out in no time.
No, I needed to get one more kill. Okay.
The third stage is in the Crucible.
Okay.
In Year 1, this was a complete bear for the average or worst player. Just like in Year 1, you have to get void kills in the Crucible. Unlike in Year 1 though, death does not slow your progress, so no matter who you are, if you keep plugging away, you'll get there eventually. I remember in Year 1 I had no void primary or secondary, plus I sucked pretty bad. I remember going back and buying a blue secondary from the gunsmith, I think it was a fusion rifle, just to get the quest done. The struggle was real, but the plus side was that I felt like I really earned the weapon. Between that and the amazing lore story behind it, Thorn became my go-to gun for a long time, pretty much right up until the point I discovered how to use the last word. My weapon inventory, like my skill level, has increased greatly, so rather than the Crucible section being a thing of dread, I was excited to get to that stage of the quest. Whatever class you're using, make sure you're running your Void subclass. Make sure you have a Void weapon for heavy and secondary, and also if you still have a primary from Year 1, go ahead and use that. You could use Atheon's Epilogue, Word of Crota, or if you have a Void Adept from Trials, you could use that. I ran the Word of Crota, and I was actually pleasantly surprised by its effectiveness.
Alright, I have to have a bomb at A.
Zone A lost. Double down. 3 opponents down.
Oh, there was one left! How was there one left?
Following the Crucible stage, you need to cleanse the darkness from the weapon using Motes of Light. Personally, I think it'd be funny if they'd trolled the community and required 500 motes or something. But alas, it is only 5, and if you don't have 5 motes of light, just go out and play the game for about an hour and you probably will have them. The final stage of the quest requires you to run the Abomination Heist, which is the updated heroic version of the Summoning Pit Strike. Which this is actually, in my opinion, much easier than the special Summoning Pit Strike they had in Year 1 for Thorn, because you can just run it straight up. You don't have to keep Fogoth alive whilst doing damage long enough for a third wave of ads for the special named guy to come along that you had to kill to get the bit from. One key thing to remember is that you have to have a skeleton key on you when you finish the strike. You get your Year 3 Thorn from the chest after defeating Fogoth, so no key, no Thorn. After that you're good to go. Thorn is yours, and you go trigger some Year 1 dinosaurs in the Crucible.
Thorn acquired.
As much fun as Thorn was in PvE in Year 1, and trust me it was, I used it in raids and nightfalls regularly with great success. But PvP is where its legend was formed. It was a little OP in Year 1, the damage over time or dot effect was brutally punishing, allowing you to get a couple of shots off and hide as your foe bled out. Year 3 Thorn is not Year 1 Thorn.
Skirmish.
If you're expecting that, you'll be disappointed. Although the weapon was good and balanced at the end of Year 2 despite not being current light, they nerfed it again for Year 3. So, is it any good?
Down.
Well, as we watch some footage of my first game using it, I would say yes. Yes, it is. I also use it some throughout Iron Banner Supremacy. It's certainly not a one-stop shop like it used to be, but it is good. For me, personally, it's going to be a map and mood situation where I bring it out and use it. For CQC, Last Word is a lot better. For almost mid-range, just in from ideal pulse territory, it's a great fit. It pairs really nicely with a shotgun too. To compare the numbers, in Year 1 it'd do around 81, 82 to the head, 55 to the body, and the dot did 7 a tick, which was too much. In Year 2 it's doing 79 to the head, a little less, 53 to the body, a little less, and only 2 per tick on the dot, which is way less. Thank you as always for watching. I'm going to put a link in the notes to the Ghosts and Echoes audio grimoire for Thorn and Last Word. You really owe it to yourself to check them out. They're fantastic and a great way to immerse yourself in the lore behind these weapons. If they could somehow figure out a way of putting these great stories that they have for Destiny in the game, we'd all be winners. But that's not the way it is. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.
You're almost there. Double down.
Hello, darkness. I've come to talk with you.